Hey everybody, Danielle at D's Enlightened Edits here. I have been missing you, and while I've been working on a really extensive new chat and channel session podcast that's going to have a new offering to go along with it as well, hi Heather, I wanted to come on and chat with you guys and do a live chat and channel session because I wanted to talk to you about manifesting and something about attachment. So there's my friend Heather Carlucci Medium in the comments. Go and check her out. She's fabulous and a medical intuitive as well, and I love her. But while I have you guys here today, or if you're watching on the replay, I wanted to talk about when you are working to manifest something, especially if it's something that you believe requires money or funds or a very specific opportunity in order to receive it, I want you to notice if you are too attached or feeling attached to figuring out the how you will receive that thing, or to the attachment to getting the money in order to do or to receive a certain thing. Because this is another layer of lesson that the universe had me learn recently in terms of not hyper-fixating on how something is going to be done or how something has to be done in order for you to receive it. When we do that, we crowd out a lot of spirit's magic or the universe's magic or whatever you like to call it, because we are trying to force our manifestation or our receive or our blessing through a box and through it having to come to us in a certain way, which is often where we struggle with waiting a prolonged amount of time in order to receive that thing. And recently I was manifesting something I was really stressed out about receiving it in time. It was something that also had medical implications, and I was hyperfixating, I noticed, on the how that I would get this thing and how I would come up with the funds to get this thing, instead of just focusing on the fact that I needed it and I was worthy to receive it. And Spirit really wanted me to share that message with you today so that whatever it is in your life, I apologize if you hear the cars, but whatever it is in your life that you have been struggling with in order to receive it or to manifest it, notice if you are putting things in between you and that manifestation so that you can cut those things out. Cut out the middleman and put your focus and your attention and your energy back on what it is you actually want and or need, and leave open space. I think so many of us who are caretakers or caregivers or service-oriented people or empaths, we tend to focus really hard on the how something could or should be done, and we feel really responsible to figure everything out, in essence to try to prove our worth in order to receive that thing that we're trying to manifest. I think especially if we have a history or a pattern of being the giver in our lives or in our families, we feel responsible, or in some senses obligated, to figure out the how or to prove our worth. And sometimes we don't even notice how these patterns are translating into so many different parts of our lives, from our early life and from our childhood, and from being made to feel, whether it was verbally said or not, on any level that we had to prove ourselves, that we had to prove our worth, especially if there were limited means in the family growing up, or if we were in any way made to feel like we were difficult or it was difficult to provide for our wants or our needs. No shade on parents, they often do the best they can. But if we grew up with that attitude, with that energy, that it was difficult to provide for our needs, then it can be really hard to not translate that feeling and that limited sense of self-worth to the other areas of our lives, to relationships, and even to our relationship with the universe and with manifesting or receiving in any sense. And I have a previous chat and channel session that's an older one that's available on my YouTube, where you can see how our relationship with the universe is very, very influenced with the relationship that we formed with our parents or early caregivers. But just to reiterate a little bit of that, again, if we were made to feel like it was stressful or difficult to provide for our needs, then it can be really difficult not to translate that feeling into us or the universe providing for our needs. And so we can often get stuck, get attached to trying to figure it out for the universe, instead of just putting it out there, stating a need. And this can go for relationships or for people as well. If you have an opportunity in your life where someone is asking or offering to help you and asking what you may need help with, sometimes we get afraid and feel like we have to lessen it for them. And so I want to encourage you, if you feel the need or the call to reach out for help, don't feel like you have to figure it out for the person who is offering to help you. Because I think so many of us are used to being the helpers, and we all need help now and then. But when we are used to being the helper for other people, when we need to approach someone else for help or when we need to receive help, we often feel like we have to lessen that. And we have to see what we have to sacrifice in order to receive anything, because we don't want to be quote unquote too much. And so whether it's asking a person, an organization, a doctor, or the universe for something that you need, I want to encourage you today, ask for what you need without any holes barred, without you trying to figure out how the person or the organization or whatever it is or the universe would provide that for you. Give up that. Release that, surrender that how, and surrender and notice where you are trying to lessen what you actually need, because we don't often get many chances in terms of physical world, people, services, etc., to ask for something multiple times. And you would be surprised how often you are given the opportunity to ask for something that you need, and you actually don't ask for everything because you're afraid to ask for everything that you actually need in that moment, because there is so much inside of you that's used to being the giver that is saying, oh, that's too much, I can't really ask for that. Well, why? If you are given the opportunity, it's not to say that that person or that being or that organization or that part of the universe has to give that to you. You're not being that demanding. But why can't you ask for it? That's something for you to figure out within you. And while we do get unlimited chances with the universe, in terms of physical people that the universe sends to us to help us, we don't always get unlimited chances with those physical people or situations. So I want to encourage you, the first time, ask for what you need. Ask for everything you need. And it's okay if inside you are still feeling uncomfortable doing that. This is not to say you're not going to feel uncomfortable, but the worst thing that can happen is that someone would think that you're too much, right? Or that it's too much for them to actually handle. The worst thing someone can say is no, maybe, I know this is a fear, maybe they can judge you a little bit. But at least you've been authentic in asking for what you need, instead of asking and then limiting it and trying to figure out the rest yourself, because there's not many opportunities where you will get another shot to say, oh my God, you're giving me exactly what I asked for. I actually didn't ask for enough. Then it starts to play into that fear of maybe looking ungrateful or looking shady. But I want to encourage you, the first time you need something, ask for everything you need and try your best not to preface it or post-date it with saying, oh, and I understand if you can't. Just release it. See what someone says. If they say no, if they judge you, you know what? That's okay. That's on them. But at least you will feel better about you, that you asked for everything you needed. You set the door open. You arranged the receive openness of that. You put in your order, and you know what? If that person or that opportunity can't deliver that to you, at least you've gotten more comfortable with asking for what you actually need instead of trying to offset or downplay your needs. And then you leave the door open for the universe to bring someone else or something else through that will deliver it. Now, in terms of manifesting, like we were speaking about in the beginning, try not to get so attached to, if it's something that you believe requires money in order to receive it, see if you can drop the needing of the money or the needing the coming up with the money in order to receive it. Because there are so many opportunities in this world to deliver certain things in unique ways, and the universe loves to come up with unique ways to deliver things that we need. So it's really us that gets in the way, that says, well, I need this thing, but I need the money for it. So money's great if you're working on manifesting more money. Of course, I'm working on that too. Almost everybody's working on that. But if it's something that you require the money for, see if you can push out of the way the need to have money for it, because you might get an opportunity where you win a contest with that thing, or someone is donating that thing, or there's so many options of receiving of that item, of that thing, of that trip, of that opportunity that don't necessarily require money. We're just taught to believe that they do require money. So if you can, and whatever you're working on manifesting right now, if it does, in your opinion, require money to have it, see if you can drop that for a little while. See if you can drop it for a few days, the needing of money, and just focus on the thing, the having the thing. And every time you feel those thoughts come up that say how you're going to get that thing, or trying to come up with a plan in order to get that thing, try to step out of that, because that's going to be a resistant mode. That's going to be you in your thought brain instead of in your spirit. And you receive things best when you're in your spirit. You manifest best when you're in your heart, soul, or spirit. So when you feel like you have to figure it out, when you feel like you have to take action steps, drop that for a little bit and wait for the invitation in order to take action steps, which is something that my friend Avery at Cosmos and Company reminded me of yesterday after that live we did about Saturn. So if you haven't seen that yet, go and check it out. It is available on my Instagram, IGTV replays, and it will also be available soon on my YouTube as well. But she reminded me yesterday to wait for the invitation, and that is something that us as givers, us as doers, we do sometimes have to learn to wait for that invitation instead of trying to force or make certain things happen, because we believe so much in our capabilities and because we're so used to being the one to spring into action, which is a trauma response. And it is a trauma response that has helped us help ourselves and many people. But if we're allowing it to take over, we can be crowding out the magic. So I wanted to drop that inspiration on you today as a little bit of a live chat and channel session while you guys are being patient and waiting for the recorded one, which is going to be out soon. I know I've been saying that for a while, but it's just a little bit more of an intensive process because I have a new offering that's going to be coming along with it. So stay on the lookout for that. And after this, I'm going to post a mini video about a special that I am doing as well. So stay tuned to my pages for that, and I appreciate all you guys for being here. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, I do have a couple of spots left and open for my one-on-one transformational, quantum, Sikhem, and shamanic energy healing, my activations, and life and consciousness coaching. Use the form that is linked in my bio or on my website, damseldesigns.com, to reach out to me about that, so we can see about building you and your soul a custom package for such deep and high vibe works. Or you can also start with or get a session anytime on my website, www.damseldesigns, that's DAMCLdesigns.com. You can get Akashic Records reading specials, passion pattern specials. There is also the quantum reading session, which is the fan favorite, where we tap into your quantum field, connect with your spirit guides and loved ones in spirit to get you the answers that you most need at this time. And I am going to close off this session here for today. Feel free to leave a comment in the replay comments and let me know what you think about this, or leave a heart to let me know that you have received it and you have taken that cue of the inspiration. I wish you love, light, and luck, and good luck with whatever you are manifesting and with the positive receive of those things. And I will see you next time. Be blessed with love, light, and light codes. Love, Danielle. #Damsel at Design Edits of DamselDesigns.com. Bye for now.